Obviously, if there was a known shooting, or if it was a shots fired complaint, or if it was, we believe that people were under fire at the time, that would have been a more accurate statement to have made.
Okay.
According to Fifth Estate law enforcement source, Jamie Blair was the first 911 caller, reporting that her husband had been shot. This does not sound like a firearms complaint. Just take a few moments and think about this message. Call 911 if you see anyone on your property. You may not see the police, but we are there with you. Now think about the situation that was happening. Killer on the loose. RCMP had no idea where he was. But the RCMP knew for at least an hour and a half that he was dressed as a police officer and driving a cruiser. Now, from a normal way of thinking, you had just been told the police are there with you. Then you see a police officer on your property. Are you going to call 911? Or are you going to open the door if they came up and knocked? I think this could have been a very deadly message. Why did RCMP remove this from their Twitter feed? RCMP were fully aware the gunman had been in Glenholm at 9:48 or before. Took over 16 minutes to alert the public. Why put Colchester on the tweet when RCMP knew he had just been in the Debert area? RCMP were fully aware the gunman had been in Debert area for at least 18 minutes before this tweet went out. These next two tweets give us no new information. Now, this part of the story is extremely messed up. Darren Campbell has stated that the shooter stayed on Highway 2 traveling to Shubenacadie. This tweet said he was on the 102 highway in the Brookfield area. But Constable Morrison had been shot 15 minutes before this tweet went out. As Constable Morrison reported, he recognized the shooter and radioed in to let other officers know he had been shot. This tweet is 17 minutes after Constable Morrison had been shot, still reporting he is on the 102. Why didn't the RCMP report he was in the Shuby area? Finally, 35 minutes after Constable Morrison had been shot, the RCMP reported the gunman was in the Milford area. But if you listen to the recording from the helicopter pilot to dispatch, we hear, at 11:14, suspect was last spotted near the 102, just off the exit in Milford. How could this be? After leaving the crash site in Shuby, he drove a minute down the road and changed vehicles.
Okay, copy. Our last known sighting is close to Halifax, off the 102 near Milford. And you carry on that way?
The RCMP have stated that they had no idea he was driving the grey Mazda. This next tweet, the suspect had been shot and killed 9 minutes earlier. Also take note, the RCMP did not put a location on this tweet for some reason. 14 minutes after the suspect had been killed, RCMP tweet he is in custody? And for some reason they used the hashtag Colchester and not Halifax County where he had been shot. Now remember what Criminal Operations Officer, Chief Superintendent Chris Leather, said.
We had relied on Twitter, as my colleague said, because of its the instantaneous manner that we can communicate. We're aware that we have thousands of followers in Nova Scotia and felt that it was a superior way to communicate this ongoing threat.
Really? Twitter is an instantaneous way to communicate or superior way? Not in my opinion.